And beginning here in western Montana, from the rattlesnake to downtown, bear sightings are being reported all over Missoula. Now, one bear even recently tried to scale the walls of St. Patrick Hospital. MTN's Lauren Heiser talked with bear experts to learn more.
The South Hills Golf Course and the Rattlesnake are all places where people have seen black bears this past week. One bear even tried to climb the walls of St. Patrick Hospital in Missoula. Experts say likely to try and escape the flashing lights of cop cars and people with their cell phones taking photos. Jamie Jonkel is a wildlife specialist with Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks. He and his team believe the bear was trying to make his way to the river.
You know, if it's at 6:30 in the morning, just traffic starting, they can be bumped and they can, sort of rush north, rush south, and get caught in the middle of town. We get that every year. And I think this bear at St. Pat's the other day was just a bear lost in humanity.
Jonkel told us that if the bear had not encountered people, it likely would have continued through town to the river, eaten its fill of berries, and then been on its way, causing no incident.
To use the habitat, they have to ignore us because we're everywhere. So in order to eat the serviceberry along the river or the chokecherry, they have to put up with the 15 vehicles that go by every half hour.
Jonkel says it's important to note that even though these animals are coming into town, there's a big difference between a bear that will tolerate being near people and a bear that seeks out populated areas to find food.
It doesn't take much to turn them from an apple bear to a garbage bear. We had to put a bear down last week that I think was being fed.
He reminds people to lock up their trash and put up electric fences around orchards. In Missoula, Lauren Heiser, MTN News.
And meanwhile, Madison and Beaverhead counties have figured out a way to keep animals, especially bears, out of their transfer stations. Madison County has 9 sites where residents can dump garbage, and one is now the first of its kind with automatic operation. It took $15,000 to install the operating unit, batteries, and the solar collector that keeps the dumpster charged. With the push of a button, the dumpster lid lifts and then holds for people to safely deposit their trash. Another button causes the lid to close. The low maintenance is a plus. So is the effectiveness of keeping animals out.
Particularly as bear populations expand and we become more and more aware of the potential for conflicts, I think we're going to see more of these projects like this to keep bears out of these types of sites.
The project was paid for in part by the town of Virginia City and grants from the Yellowstone and Yukon Conservation Initiative, as well as the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, which is the agency assigned to taking care of and managing grizzly bear populations.